My name is Žana Kozomora, and I'm an artist based in Kitchener-Waterloo in Ontario, and I was originally born in Bosnia. Most of the art that I've been making recently has been printmaking, silkscreen printmaking, video, and digital imaging. Lately, the way that I've been creating my art has been sitting down and actually doing a lot of research about concepts and ideas. I'm really interested in ideas of colonization, migration, diaspora, so I've kind of been doing a lot of research and then figuring out how I want to express that artistically, if there's a material that I like to work with, and then I kind of just problem solve and think of a couple different materials and mediums in which I could express that idea. The series that I did, I called it Yedi Se, which translates to Eat Yourself, and I started that series by looking at cultural objects that my family had that kind of reflected where we came from, but I didn't really know a lot about, or I couldn't really sympathize with in any way, and they were these oval frames that were very Baroque, and inside of the frames were these sort of kitsch cross-stitch patterns that a lot of women make, Eastern European women would make as sort of like a dowry and a gift. And it was kind of part of a lot of craft things that women would do to prove their femininity and to prove kind of that they were ready for marriage. And so what I saw was just like this Baroque oval frame that was very kitschy, and it didn't really have that much sentimental value to me, but I wanted to translate it into a way that did, and I wanted to translate it into a way that would maybe reflect migration. So I did a couple different things with it, but what I actually did was make my own silicone paste, and I pressed the silicone onto this very Baroque and bumpy frame that was very embellished. And I waited about an hour and the silicone would harden, and so I would peel that silicone off to get a negative cast of this Baroque frame. And I had this kind of like really clear fleshy thing that I thought was interesting in and of itself, but I wanted to do more of them. And I had big ones and small ones, and what I ended up doing, because I had a kind of background a little bit in printmaking, was I actually rolled ink onto these squishy silicone things, and I put the silicone onto paper and I pushed it through a press, and what the press did was it flattened and sort of squeezed all of the ink onto the paper, and I still had the embellishments and sort of the look, but it was kind of black on these like white or beige or very delicate handmade papers, and it kind of put that object through a process of tension. So the object was kind of unraveling before you, and I took it even further by making them into these framed collage pieces. And I actually enjoyed that they became very ambiguous and abstract and more mysterious in a way, but that they became something a little bit more emotional, and they looked a little more traumatic because they've been sort of cut up and collaged and separated. And I did a series of those, and I still kind of am working on those. I think that I kind of make the work that I do almost because I have no choice. I feel like not only does it strongly interest me, I think it's something important that a lot of artists have to say, particularly regarding migration and colonization. There's a lot of different perspectives that need to be represented that have not historically been represented, and ideas and feelings, emotions, and research that maybe has never been done or put together in any sort of visual or creative way, that I think is really important for artists to let other viewers see through their eyes and through multiple perspectives. So that's kind of the reason that I go into it, and then also the reason that I hope that this kind of work is interesting to other people as well for those reasons. I had a very cliche kind of moment, and I was studying science in high school to follow in the footsteps of one of my parents, but I actually kind of figured out that it was very difficult and boring for me, and I'd always done art and creative things, but I'd never pursued it seriously. So actually in my last year of high school, I literally had a dream and then woke up the next day, and then I knew that I was supposed to do art and creative work. I actually don't remember. I just woke up and I knew. It was just like an epiphany, and then I had a very good teacher and mentor who I think leading up to that, he helped me out and told me if it was something that I wanted to pursue, he would help me build a portfolio. So I had a very encouraging system at school and at home and in family and stuff, so it wasn't too hard of a decision. Since showing with Generation Now, I finished my fine arts degree at the University of Waterloo, and I completed 2 residencies, one in Dundas at the Dundas Valley School of Art, and I also did a printmaking and video residency at Center 3 Artist Run Center in Hamilton.